All right, let's talk about something that sounds super technical, but could be quietly costing your company millions. I'm talking about patent term adjustment, or PTA. We're going to break down why this little hidden date on your patent is so critical.
I mean, just imagine that feeling for a second. You've done everything right, you've gone through the whole grueling process to secure your patent, and then bam, you find out the protection you fought so hard for has been cut short. This quote just nails the frustration founders feel when a tiny calculation error costs them precious time and money.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get into what PTA actually is. Then we'll look at the real cost of that lost time. We're going to reframe an appeal, not as some big legal battle, but as a smart business move. We'll check out the ROI, and finally, see how handling this the right way can actually become a huge strategic advantage. Okay, so let's dive right into the core concept. What in the world is patent term adjustment? So, in simple terms, PTA is basically the patent office saying, hey, sorry we took so long, here's some extra time on your patent to make up for it. It's supposed to be fair compensation for their delays. But here's the kicker. Sometimes they get the math wrong. And it's not just simple arithmetic, you know? It's about correctly interpreting which delays count and which ones don't. And if you don't catch their mistake, well, you lose that incredibly valuable time forever. So why does this matter so much? I mean, what's a few months, right? Wrong. We're not just talking about a few days on a calendar. A shortened patent term can have a massive impact on your bottom line, especially when you need that protection the most. This is the question every single founder and inventor really needs to ask themselves. It's so easy to just dismiss a small error, but in the world of IP, time isn't just time. It's money, it's leverage, and it's your entire competitive edge.
And trust me, the numbers can be absolutely staggering. Think about it. The tail end of your patent's life is often the most profitable period. Why? Because by then, your product is a hit, everyone knows your brand, and your costs are down. It's pure profit. So, as you can see here, losing just 6 months of that peak exclusivity could easily cost you $1 million in lost revenue. Poof, gone.
And look, it goes way beyond just the cash you're losing out on. A shorter patent term weakens your entire business position. Competitors get to jump into the market sooner, right when you're at your peak. And you better believe investors and potential buyers are looking at this stuff. A shorter patent life can directly lead to a lower company valuation and gives you way less leverage in any negotiation. Okay, so you found a mistake. Now what? This brings us to a really crucial shift in mindset. A lot of founders see an appeal as this huge bureaucratic nightmare or a legal fight they just don't have the time or energy for. But that is absolutely the wrong way to look at it. This is the strategic reframe right here. An appeal isn't some messy legal problem. It's a straightforward business decision. It's an opportunity to protect one of your most valuable assets. The moment you start seeing it as a high-return investment instead of just another cost, the whole game changes. So with this new mindset, how do you actually make the call? Well, you don't guess, you don't just wing it, you use data to make a smart, calculated decision. And you know what? The math is often incredibly simple. Just look at this. On one side, you've got a potential $1 million in lost revenue. On the other, maybe a $20,000 legal cost. I mean, when you see it laid out like this, the potential ROI is it's a no-brainer. The cost of doing nothing is almost always way higher than the cost of taking action. So here's the process, broken down into 4 simple steps. First, you calculate what that lost time is actually worth in real dollars. Second, you compare that to the legal costs. Then, and this part is super important, you factor in all those other benefits, those intangible ones we talked about, like better leverage and a higher valuation. And boom, you've got a clear, data-backed path to making the right call for your company. All right, let's zoom out a little bit here. Because successfully managing a PTA appeal isn't just about clawing back a few months. It's about signaling something much deeper about your company. Think about the message this sends. When you pursue an appeal, you're telling investors, partners, everyone that you are on top of your game, that you treat your intellectual property like the critical asset it is. It shows operational discipline. It's a sign of maturity and strategic foresight. And honestly, the lessons you learn just make you better at filing all your future patents. At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this. Proactively managing every single detail of your IP, including challenging a little PTA error, isn't just a task for the legal team. It's a core component of strong business leadership. It shows you're building a company that's meant to last. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Too many people treat a patent like it's just a certificate you frame and hang on the wall. But the smartest leaders, they know it's a living, breathing, dynamic asset that needs constant attention to protect its full value. So you have to ask yourself, which one is yours?